Hello everybody and welcome back to another Schlip on Switch video. With the release of the Switch 2 swiftly approaching, I thought it would be fun to make a series of videos going through all the incredible games that Nintendo has given us. From first-party releases to third-party games that Nintendo published in North America, to first-party IP that Nintendo let third-party developers give us amazing experiences for. The Switch really has an incredible library, and I'll be making a series of videos going through all these year by year. This intro will be the same for all of them, so if you've already seen it, you can skip ahead, or you can watch it again, and each video will be linked in the description below, so subscribe, ring the bell for notification on future videos, and let's get started. I will be focusing only on the games, steelbooks, and the collector editions. While I do have a lot of amazing merchandise from a lot of incredible sources, I'll be only focusing on said products. So let's get started. Hey everyone, and welcome back. And today we're going to go through all the games that Nintendo published throughout the year of 2021. 2021 was a smaller year with only about 15 games published from Nintendo via first-party and third-party published Nintendo games. And I did not play a lot of them, as I realized as I was going through this video. But 2021 was probably one of my best gaming years, as I started the Trail series and played through the first 9 games in this year. So that took up a lot of my gaming year. But we're here to talk about Nintendo games. So the first game that Nintendo published came out on February 12th, which was the incredible Wii U port of Super Mario 3D World. And the Switch port had the expanded content with Bowser's Fury. Now, before I start talking about the game, I would also like to show off. I got 2 steelbooks for this game. One of them came out in Europe, which is one side for Super Mario 3D World, and the other side as Bowser's Fury. And the other steelbook is from South Korea, which just has the logos on one side and some cute artwork on the other side. Now, before I start talking about the game, I'd like to bring my friend Chaim in to talk about this with me.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, and welcome back. So, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, how much of this game did you play?
Probably like 5 minutes of the game, and I wasn't not impressed, but I wasn't not impressed, if that makes sense. It looked pretty, it looked cute. It's everything that I'm used to in a Mario game. It's not my necessary favorite style of platforming, but I like that you can replay a level, that you can replay specific levels and missions.
So, my history with this game is actually a little funny. Back when the Wii U was out, I did not have a Wii U, and I was in a religious high school, and I didn't have any video game systems then. Or in high school, I used to go when I was bored during breaks to a electronic shop nearby and play on their Wii U demo unit, and I played Super Mario 3D World a bit on there, and it was a lot of fun. And then when this port was finally announced for the Switch, I was really excited. And also, Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS is one of my favorite 3D Marios. Not my favorite, but one of my favorites. And I was really excited to see the expansion that this would give. And I absolutely loved this game. I did 100% the main game, but I did do a lot of it, and I had a blast doing so. And then the Bowser's Fury content was absolute perfection. For a very short experience, the content that was in that section and the new stylization of it was just incredible.
How short are we talking?
Probably like 6 to 8 hours to 100% it and get every single, I think it was, I forgot the main collectible item that was in that.
Yeah, that is short.
But it was an absolute joy to play through, and I loved it. So yeah, very, very fun game, and one that I jump into every so often, but I just don't end up doing it. But it's fun to hop in and do a level or two. And I love
it's also multiplayer. Did you mention that?
Yeah, it is multiplayer. Don't play it a lot, but I haven't played a lot of multiplayer. It is you can play with friends online. I really haven't dabbled that much in the multiplayer. But I do. Me. Yeah, just very little with you. But I do love that Rosalina is a playable character in this.
You didn't tell me that.
Spoiler alert.
Is it though?
Well, it's a secret unlockable.
Okay, whatever. It's like in Mario Galaxy when Luigi's playable. That's not really a spoiler.
Anyways, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Let me know what you thought of this game if you played it. And now for the next one. Next up, on February 26th, we got Bravely Default 2, another Square Enix game that was a Switch exclusive and published by Nintendo in the US. This game was later ported to other systems. Now, Bravely Default and Bravely Second were 3DS exclusive games. The first Bravely Default has since been announced as a HD remaster for the Nintendo Switch 2, but otherwise they're still only available on the Nintendo 3DS as of recording, and Bravely Default 2 was ported to other systems. Now, I did not play Bravely Default 2, but I heard really good things about it. Yet, Bravely Default on the 3DS, I played it, and I despise it. I'm not going to get too much into that since we're talking about Bravely Default 2, but I will not be repurchasing it for the Nintendo Switch 2 because it's a fun game. It is fun. I'll give it that. I just hated the story. So, maybe one day I'll give Bravely Default a go. Default 2. So let me know if you played them and let me know what you think of the Bravely Default series. And now, moving on to the next game. On April 30th, we got new Pokemon Snap. This is a continuation of the Pokemon Snap sub-series that was only on the Nintendo 64 before this one. And it finally got a sequel. I played this a little bit. My brother got me this for my birthday that year. And it's cute. I didn't really play too much at the end of the day. It wasn't something I actually found enjoyable on a personal level. But I hope that the fans of the game liked it. So let me know in the comments what you thought of this if you played it. Next up, on May 21st, we have Miitopia. Another first-party release. I think this is either a port or whatever, something from the 3DS. I'm not 100% sure the full history of this. But I think it was on 3DS and then ported over to the Switch. It's a fun little game with Miis. I bought this because I thought I was going to play it on a trip with a long flight, but I didn't end up playing it. And it looks cute, so who knows? Maybe I'll give it a go. Maybe I won't. I'll check it out at some point for sure. Next up, on June 4th, we have DC Superhero Girls Teen Power. This is a game that's published by Nintendo using the DC properties. I got a Japanese version of this game. It's fully playable in English, but I got it for really cheap from Japan, so that's why I have a Japanese case for it. It looks like it's a game that definitely not my demographic, even though I like DC superheroes, but I don't know about this one. Maybe I'll try it at some point. So let me know in the comments what you think of this, if you played it. Next up, on June 11th, we got the really interesting Game Builder Garage. This is a game where you make your own games, and I have the European version here. I got this at the Nintendo Tel Aviv store in Israel. Same time I got this shirt, probably. No. Different time, actually, I think. I don't remember. Anyways. I got this at the Nintendo Tel Aviv store, and it looks interesting. I heard decent things about it. I'm not sure too much about it, because I can't really talk about it, but yeah. It's another first-party game that came out. So, if you played Game Builder Garage, let me know what you thought of it, because it definitely looks like it could have been an interesting release. I didn't try it, so. And now, on June 25th, we got just Mario Golf Super Rush. There's the Super. Mario Golf Super Rush, June 25th. Another Mario sports game that looks really cool, and I didn't try it. So, a whole bunch of games here that I didn't really play. Looks fun. I don't really know too much about it, but I'm only talking about the games I do know. Not every game on this series that have I played. I'm just trying to show off all the Nintendo games. So if you played it, Mario Golf Super Rush, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Now, moving on to the next game. Next up, on July 16th, we got... What?
It's the game that I played. You haven't played it. It is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
Okay, fine. I'll give this one to you.
In HD. So you can hold this now.
So alongside with the game, this is a Korean cover copy because I got it with the Steelbook from South Korea. And there was also a Steelbook available in Europe. Why North America doesn't get a Steelbook for this? Because Nintendo America is just like, meh. So, Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword HD. Tell me about your history with this game.
I played it when it was on Wii, and I actually loved it. And I played it like years after everyone had played it and it had become passe, and the Switch was about to come out. I loved everything about the game, from the Cezanne-inspired art style, where every time you looked and focused at your game, the things in the way background that actually be like little dots, like a paintbrush just dotted that. It was beautifully colored between the light and the dark color tones and everything. It was beautiful. It's as if Wind Waker and Twilight Princess came together and that idea came. Because Skyward Sword, comparatively speaking to Twilight Princess, was a much brighter, game, and it was beautiful for every bit of it. I there was not a single bit I didn't enjoy. I loved Fee because Fee was a great sidekick, and maybe she was irritating, but the best sidekicks are irritating. Like, hey, listen! I will never get over Navi because she has a place in all of us from the 90s.
Hey, yo, hi. Ellie here from behind the camera here. I figured I'd jump in for a sec.
Yeah, you better.
Hi, everyone, for Skyward Sword. Why, thank you, Mr. Schlib, and hello, Chaim. Schlib lent me this game when I had my Switch, and I didn't get through a whole lot of it, and I never played it on the original platform that it was released on, but I will say this. From what I saw, I borrowed it for a few days. The graphics are really, really good.
I know, right?
Yeah, the graphics are really good. The music, from what I heard, was good. Like the Ballad of the Goddess,
Yeah.
which is the intro. I believe it's the intro music.
Yeah.
It was fully orchestrated, like a full orchestra. So it sounded really, really amazing.
It was a great departure because when you listen to the soundtrack, you're like, oh my gosh, there is a full orchestra here.
And they put in Easter eggs too. Like some of the music was, like I believe the intro music was Zelda's Lullaby backwards or something. Part of Zelda's Lullaby.
No, I don't remember that bit. I
believe it was part of Zelda's Lullaby backwards.
How far did you get? Like, which temple do you remember last game?
I didn't even make it to the temple. I just kind of experimented a little bit in Skyloft a little bit, and I made it to the surface. I believe I got the harp, and I got the first song. I believe. I think it was the ballad. I believe.
So you got probably further than me. I remember I beat it all on Wii, and on that playthrough on HD, I was roughly. I had just gotten through the Linné Reminding Facility, which is one of my absolute favorite levels, with the past and the present as these two things.
The time shift stones.
The time shift stones were such a cool concept in this.
So let me ask you a question, as someone who played it on the Wii with the motion controls versus me playing it with just the regular controls with the Pro controller. Which version did you like better, the motion controls, which were a bit clunky from what I understand, or from what I understand, maybe you could use the Joy-Cons as well.
Yeah, you can.
So, did you try with the Joy-Cons with motion control?
I did with the motion control because to me it just felt like I had to. Because
how was it? How did it play?
I honestly didn't have an issue with the original set of motion controls because for me it worked just fine. And I get for accessibility issues that this is an issue for some people.
Yeah.
But I thought, in one sense, Twilight Princess was a great foray into that motion control type stuff.
And what did you think of, as someone who looks for this type of thing in the game, what did you think of, like, how the characters look? What did you think of Link? What did you think of Princess? I thought Princess Zelda looked really cute in this game. Her character models were really, really adorable.
All the models looked great. I loved the way in which there was such a great character development in the game.
Yes.
And obviously at this point, I don't think it's really a spoiler, but like every Zelda game, you go through a journey. You're the hero. You go through a journey.
Yeah.
And this, canonically, you're the first hero in the Zelda series. This is what established it. It's in all the Zelda books and the official timeline.
Except maybe Breath of the Wild is now about 10,000 years before that, so I think I think this...
Well, it's after all several timelines have converged, basically.
Yeah.
There's like the child, the adult, the downfall timeline. And at some point they all converge into one specific thing, which is like Breath and Tears.
Got it.
All the callbacks in those maps do this.
And this is what happens when you get two Zelda nerds talking. I'm going to continue to be quiet.
But really importantly, in Skyward Sword, that some people didn't like was the backtracking. And I actually love backtracking.
What do you mean by backtracking?
So let's say you had just done Skyview Temple,
Yeah.
and that's your first level, basically.
Okay.
And then several things later, you go to one place, another place, and then you have to go back and do something. And you then have to go to that temple to get something. Then you have to go back to take that thing you just got to another place to open it. I don't hate the concept because it is an open world, kind of, in that you get something and the world gets bigger. It's like in Twilight Princess, the world got bigger as you got further in the game. And maybe it wasn't specifically an open world and that it was a huge open world, but Hyrule Field was giant. That was the biggest Hyrule Field we'd seen at the time.
So,
on a scale from 1 to 10, briefly, as someone who played more of the game than I did, how would you rate it? 10 being the best, 1 being never play this ever, which probably you wouldn't be rating it like that, but how would just give a number and very briefly why you would rate it that number.
For me,
yes,
I would probably honestly rate it like an 8.5 to 9 out of 10 because it's a masterpiece. It's a masterclass in color and design, and maybe some of the dungeons felt repetitive, but it's just nitpicking. I loved it because the music was great, the visuals were great, but it's still no Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess had some of the best, and I'm hoping that we get that on Switch 2 in a full HD because that was a masterpiece.
Which I never played, by the way. I never played Twilight Princess. I've seen videos, but I actually never played that game. But Schlib, I'll turn it right back to you.
So as I said, the only Zelda games I've played was Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Echoes of Wisdom. I've always wanted to play this one. Funny story is when this originally came out on the Wii, I was interested in checking it out, and I thought if you bought it with a Wii remote, it was only like $60. So I went to GameStop and they're like, no, it's a lot more than that. I'm like, I don't have that money right now. So I didn't buy it. And I was excited when it came out in here, but as I mentioned earlier in this video, I was busy playing Trails this whole year. So I didn't end up trying it. I do want to play it sometime. I will get it.
It is a masterclass in a first-party game that is done right. It's also a masterclass in taking a game and updating it because in the original game, Fi is just an incessant little character. And to some people, they thought she was worse than Navi, but Navi had no personality.
Hey, listen! Don't say Navi has no personality. Hey, listen!
All right.
But Fi, she had like a cool look, and it's like, I love it was like, Master, I have detected that there's a 95% chance that something is in this area.
Fi had no personality. Navi had more personality.
Yeah, but she developed a personality. Her personality got molded.
That's true.
And that's what I liked, because, spoiler, not spoiler.
Hey, I didn't play the game yet.
Wait.
The end has some great payoff, and that's why
I saw all the cutscenes for the game years ago when I was younger.
But that's what's really important is a Zelda game has a payoff in the end. And that was something that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom was devoid of for me in the end.
So yeah, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Did you play it on the Wii? Did you play the HD version on the Switch? Let us know in the comments what you thought on the game, and let's discuss it. And now for the next one. Next up, on September 10th, we got WarioWare Get It Together. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with the WarioWare series, but I did play the demo for this one a little bit. And it's fun. I didn't end up getting it right away, but I did get, again, I have a Japanese cover for this one. And as with DC Superhero Girls, I got this in the same order, really cheap from Japan. And I want to play it more sometime. I did enjoy the first WarioWare through Nintendo Switch Online on the Game Boy Advance. But otherwise, I don't really have a lot of experience with the WarioWare series. So if you play this, let me know in the comments what you think of it, because it looks fun. And I want to try it out more. So let me know. And now, for the next game, we got... Next up, on September 14th, we got Cruisin' Blast. Now, Cruisin' Blast is a game that I didn't even realize it was a Nintendo IP, but when I was doing research for the series, I found out this was, in fact, a Nintendo IP. This game, though, is published by Raw Fury. Now, I heard good things about this racing game when it came out, and I thought I was going to pick it up and try it out, but I picked it up and didn't try it out. But I'm You played it, so I'm gonna
I
leave this
loved
over to you.
it. I loved it because the worlds around were beautiful. There was so much depth to what was around the tracks. It really gave you some competition and a really good racer style, which again is not my favorite genre. I don't think I've ever said that, so it's not again. But it's a genre that I do enjoy. Maybe not as much as you with like Mario Kart, but I enjoyed it because it gave you some really nice souped up rides and it gave us some worlds, some really, really great worlds around. And I remember playing Cruise in the World, which looks basically the same idea, but it was on like the Chuck E. Cheese places where you'd go and you'd have the thing and you'd like drive like a car, but like at the arcade, it was so cool. And I believe they all supported that to game N64 back in the day. But I don't remember if this is all accurate or if it's the same thing, but it reminds me so much of that because this is all around the world and so is that.
So yeah, Cruisin', being a Nintendo IP that was mostly on arcades apparently, but this is a home console release. Let us know what you thought of the See You Played or other games in the Cruisin' series. And now, for the next game, on October 8th, we got Metroid Dread.
Ugh.
And Metroid Dread, alongside that, we got the really cool collector edition, which actually got a day early when it came out. Thanks, Best Buy, who totally didn't put a shipping label straight on the box. And a steelbook, which is the reason why I got the collector edition. Now, I haven't actually played much or any of the Metroid series. I mostly got this when it came out for the steelbook, but it is a game I have been interested in checking out. Obviously, for Switch fans, Metroid Prime 4 has been the big. When's it finally coming out? But
yeah, they finally announced it, but like they announced it whenever, and then this came out, and to me, it felt like a game that nobody wanted, and maybe that's a bit rude, but like a lot of us have been waiting for Metroid Prime 4. And having played Metroid Prime and loving it and just loving what it did, it was so much more interesting to me than, say, a 2D Metroid game.
Now, thankfully, I heard great things about this game, so apparently people did want it, but it just wasn't the game everyone was waiting for, so it was a nice surprise when it did get announced. Now, I haven't played Metroid Dread or any of the Metroid Prime games, and you're going to be upset at me for this, but when I went to the Nintendo Switch 2 preview event, I did not try the Metroid Prime 4 demo. I was going to, and they told me when I came in I would be able to try every game, but they actually limited it to 6, and the lines for Metroid Dread was way too long, so I ended up playing something else while I was waiting, and then I got limited out of trying it. But it wasn't even high on my priority list, but I did want to try that out with the mouse
It looked
mode.
amazing. Seeing the trailer for the new Metroid Prime 4 looked amazing.
I did really want to try
and
it
Metroid
out
Prime
there.
Remastered was, again, another masterclass in what to do. And it's nothing against 2D side-scrollers as a genre, but, like, I didn't grow up with 2D side-scrollers as my main genre. That was me with Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine. That's why, to me, 3D platforming will always mean more to me, because that was me growing up in my formative years.
So, hi, I'm going to chime in here. I'm just going to quickly go over here. Hi, everyone. Hi. So, I did play the demo for the Switch. I downloaded the demo. That was, believe it or not, my actual first Metroid game. I never played it on the original NES. I never played any Metroid games because I'm not really into Metroid that much. But I wanted to try it. And so this was a while ago, so you'll forgive me, folks, if I don't really remember a lot, but I do remember the graphics were good. I do remember being chased around by these monster-like things.
The Emmy.
The Emmy, yes. And I do remember having a nice set of weapons. The game gave me a sort of, how shall I put it? Like a horror feeling almost, sort of like, because the lighting in the game was a little bit more on the dark side, and it wasn't a bad thing. It was a good thing. And then with the music, it felt a little bit sort of like haunting, and I was being chased, so it's sort of like I had to be on my guard a lot. But I played maybe like 45 minutes of the demo, and from what I saw, it was a good game. It's not a game that I personally would buy because it's not my genre really, but it was a good investment to try playing it. And for those who really like Metroid, and for those who like that genre, Definitely try this one out, even if you have to play the demo. I would recommend the demo. And if
So you don't play a lot of like horror games or things like that?
Not really. My main genre is JRPGs, specifically like Trail series, which is for another video altogether.
I just don't think you can really be atmospheric in a game like this when it's 2D and you're talking about how it feels like you're being chased. It's like in Resident Evil when you're being chased and you don't know which direction you want to go or whatever.
So-
it doesn't feel as like what they wanted.
And while Chaim doesn't like 2D games and he loves Metroid Prime, if I was to play a Metroid game, I would much gravitate towards the 2D game because I do not like first-person games. So that's what's fun about gaming is how everyone can find the genres and the styles that they like and ones that they don't like, and it doesn't really matter if you don't like something. You don't have to play it. There's always going to be this one that you like. And Metroid is a franchise that I don't know the word, but shows that off. Encapsulates. Well, you have the 3D first-person games for those that want those. You have the 2D side-scroller exploration games for the people that want those, and you have the Metroid style that almost became his own genre almost with Metroidvania.
Metroidvania, exactly.
I'm so tired of that word being thrown around.
Which comes from Metroid and Castlevania. Hence, they're married together. It's called Metroidvania, which...
And it's really cool how the series manages to give two types of experiences based off what game you like. Not a lot of series do that. Some series do it great. Some series don't. I think Nintendo's a masterclass of like making the same series have different style games for different type of people. And that's one thing I love about gaming is even if you don't like everything, there's just so many amazing experiences.
Anyways, I'm going back behind the camera. I'll leave the video back to Shlib and Chaim, so catch you guys later.
Peace.
So Metroid Dread, if you've played this, let us know your thoughts on this and the rest of the Metroid series. And now, alright, let me just put these on the side. Next up, on October 29th, we got Mario Party Superstars.
I'm coming back in for this one.
You have no idea how exciting Mario Party is. You have no idea.
Movies. Mario Party Superstars is a new game / remake of a Mario Party, bringing back boards from the Nintendo 64 games, and I should probably just let Chaim talk about this.
Because I know about this and you don't.
Yes, that's right.
I know. It's like so exciting. It is so exciting.
But I played it a little bit at Schlip's house too, you know.
So I played Mario Party Superstars. Ellie played this a little bit with me, but Chaim is the person that played Superstars. Mario Parties 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And that
9.
thing that we shall not talk about called Mario Party 9.
Oh, sorry, like you with Kiseki, okay. And us with Kiseki, great, okay. So Chaim, tell us all about Mario Party.
I loved the OG Mario Parties 1, 2, and 3. 2 being my favorite, where everyone got all up in costume and, like, really duked it out in a party. In costume, like, Pirate Peach, like, you know, Pirate Land, like, Yoshi. Oh my god, Spaceland Donkey Kong, or, like... all this stuff was so cute, or like Horrorland where everyone's like a witch or a warlock. It looked amazing.
Pirate Peach, that sounds like that other game.
I know, right?
So, with
boards, talking about that other game that came out?
Yeah, but what was so cool was like they gave us recreated versions of some of these boards. Like they gave us like Princess Peach's birthday cake from Mario Party 1, which had every character having their own themed world, and Princess Peach got like a birthday cake, and it was really super cute and really fanciful, like me. And you had Mario getting like the Rainbow Castle, which does come up later. And then you had Luigi's engine room, you had Woody Woods from Mario Party 3, you had also Yoshi's Tropical Island, but that was a great track. Like on N64, that was like a track that I'd go to because it was just so tropical and like chill.
So, since this focuses on recreating a lot of boards from the 64 era and mini games from mostly 64 era, but I believe also the GameCube era.
It's actually pretty hefty on the GameCube era. And I love that.
Does this game have new boards and new mini games exclusive to this version?
I don't remember because I have no attention span sometimes. And it's not really coming to me. But I know they had some other modes that were not in either of the games. But it made me think, are they going to give us a Mario Party similar to this, where you've got GameCube era boards and more of that, because that was a great era. Like, Mario Party felt like a rough draft. Mario Party 2 felt like a lot of the reused assets were definitely in better use. And 3 established the formula more that happened everything after, where you could hold 3 items or 3 capsules or 3 whatever's you got as your items. I just loved all the old games coming back. More of them should have come back in a better way than, say, Mario Party Best 100 Games or whatever for 3DS, which I've not played, but I would totally play.
Mario Party DS is the best Mario Party. My opinion.
But that's
my
not
opinion.
mainline Mario Party.
My opinion.
Okay, so I'm gonna interject here, and I'm just gonna briefly talk about my experience playing Mario Party with Schlib a while back. So
Hope he wasn't too aggressive.
no. I had never played a Mario Party before, and so we did a couple of practice rounds, and just to see like 2 or 3 of us, maybe there was 4, I can't remember exactly. But from my experience, it's a game that's basically comprised of a lot of mini games, and some of these games are really cute. Like some you had to bounce around and push people off. Others you had to float through water. Others you had to, shoot stuff. I found it was really, really cute. It kept my attention just for the right amount of time. There was no, as I like to call it, game raging.
It's like Happy Tree Friends, where there's a little bit of unnecessary violence, but it's cute because it's like Mario characters.
In other words, they say that Mario Party Superstars can destroy friendships. It did not destroy any friendships.
It does destroy friendships. We got in a major argument one time.
So he only played like once, so he doesn't know that experience.
We've played some very aggressive games.
So I'm not.
You have to continue that game with your cousin at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm not a hugely.
That was in Jamboree, not this one.
So I'm not a hugely competitive player. So I was kind of chill the whole time. I mean, some other players were extremely competitive and raging. But me, I just took it, had fun. If I lost, oh well, I lost. Someone took my stars. Oh well, someone took my stars. I was just doing it for the
That's
experience.
not the right attitude. You're supposed to get aggressive. This is about winning.
Hello, this is not New York driving. You don't have to get that aggressive. Anyways, so that's my take on it. I'm going back behind the camera. That's my take on it. I'll return the video back to you guys.
Thanks for joining, Ellie.
Hey, no problem.
I mean, you really took party your way in the right way. You're partying your way. I party my way, which is hard, mean, and aggressive, and maybe.
So Mario Party Superstars, I had fun with this. I didn't have a lot of people to play with all the time.
You have me.
Now I do.
You had me.
Yeah, but
You need to come back.
I will.
So Mario Party Superstars, I did play this a bit when it came out. I didn't play it a ton, but I did have fun with it. So let us know in the comments what you thought of us, and let's discuss this.
And if you want to play this online, go figure that out.
Well, this one didn't have a lot of online, but yeah, we could always figure something out. Alright, now for the next game. And next up on November 19th, we got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. These are remakes of the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl from the DS era, and I didn't play those ones, and I didn't play these ones either. It does look like interesting remakes. I didn't hear the greatest things about this particular remake, but I do want to give them a go at some point. Just these were coming out like a few months before Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I'll talk about in next year's video. And I didn't want to burn myself out from Pokemon, and Arceus just looked a lot more interesting. So I didn't play this, but I did get the Korean copies here, because if you ordered it in South Korea, you got a really cool Nintendo Switch Steelbook and Nintendo Switch Mini Steelbook. Now, these aren't branded for the Pokemon games, but they were released alongside these. And if you open them up, you have felt to fit a bunch of cartridges in, and this isn't really anything. This was other mini-sized steelbooks that released for other games. Utilize that. And let me take this one out of the plastic. This one holds 24 cartridges. It's pretty cool. There's a few of these for the Switch that are like this style. And over in Europe, if you got the game, you had the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Steelbook. There was only one proper Pokemon Steelbook for this game, but the Nintendo Switch Steelbooks were also from this release. So it's pretty cool. So I'm going to definitely try to give these games a go at some point, but let me know in the comments what you thought of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. And it's a shame they didn't really add in the platinum content. That's kind of another thing that like helped me off in doing it because I wanted to try that out. Now, for the last game of the year, but not the last item, I'm going to talk about this video, so stay tuned after this game. For the last game of this video, we have Big Brain Academy, Brain vs. Brain. This released on December 3rd. And this is a continuation of the Big Brain Academy series. There was a few other entries on other systems. And it looks fun. I didn't actually give this one a go either. And yeah, just looking over, like, ending off the year, there really wasn't a lot of Nintendo first-party releases in 2021 that I played. But, I mean, we got, Super Mario 3D World was an awesome game, and yeah, that's really the only game from 2021 that I played. I was playing other games. I had a great time playing games that year, but just not specifically first-party ones. So it's cool. And now, for the last item. So yeah, anyway, before I go that, if you played Big Brain Academy, Brain vs. Brain, let me know in the comments. And if you played other games in the series, let me know what you thought of it. Now, for the last item I'm going to talk about in this video, we got the Super Mario Happy Holidays Steelbook. This was a steelbook that was available in Hong Kong, like Southeast Asia. I'm not sure. I think like Hong Kong mostly. And it was just like a little promotional steelbook. It was like the Happy Holidays, and it has some cute artwork with Mario, Peach, Yoshi, Toad. And it's just really cute. Inside, just some gold. Just holds one cartridge. It's not a multi-cartridge steelbook like the other Nintendo Switch ones. But yeah, it's a cute steelbook, and it was fun getting it. So yeah. Anyways, 2021. There's a lot of good releases here. Not that many that I personally played. A lot that I should play. And I will hopefully get to at some point. It was a fun year. So yeah, 2021 with 15 first-party releases from Nintendo. Let me know in the comments what your favorite games of the year was, whether they were spoken about in this video, whether they were third-party games on the Switch, or even on other platforms. Let me know what you thought of 2021 for video game releases. And thank you for watching, and stay tuned for other videos in this series. They'll all be linked in the description below. If you enjoyed this, like, comment, share with your friends, follow across all platforms, and thank you for watching. Have a good one. See ya in the next one. Bye.